Hello and welcome back to West Brom Fan TV. Now I know this is very late, we've finally got around to doing championship predictions. Lost my phone, so it's been a bit of a mare. I would have had it out a lot earlier, and I had a gig last night, so it's just turned out to be an absolute nightmare. I know the Derby score, I know they won 4-0, but I originally had them down to lose 2-1 to Portsmouth. I know, what an awful prediction, but Portsmouth were on good form. I just thought, with Derby being a little bit wobbly at the minute, that they might have got a win and carried on that momentum, but oh, hey ho. On to the Saturday games, 12:30 kickoffs. Bristol versus QPR, first one. Now Bristol have kind of been the same all season, pretty consistently mid-table. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I mean it will get boring for a Bristol City fan because they've been there season on season. QPR on the other hand have started to pick up a little bit of form, to be fair to them. After a pretty depressing start to the season, they're a weird team. They drew a lot, but they couldn't really win. I don't think they're playing necessarily awful at times. Saying that, I think they're going to carry on their momentum and win 2-1 against Bristol City. So Bristol City 1, QPR 2. Next up is Coventry City taking on Hull City. Now, watched Coventry on Wednesday. They were alright, to be fair. They had a high XG, but I mean that means nothing in football. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net. Probably a confidence issue really, because Coventry haven't been consistent at all this season. Yes, they've won a few games here and there, but consistency is a big thing. That's what Frank Lampard needs to get through to them. He needs to boost them confidence levels so he can turn these shots on target into shots that are going into the back of the net. Hull on the other hand they're looking dead and buried, to be honest. Rock bottom of the league, no one would have thought that, but they've just been mismanaged so much that they're down there. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw for this one, because I don't think that Hull are going to go forever without getting something. Plus Coventry are a little bit wobbly confidence wise. Next up is Preston North End taking on Leeds. Now Preston haven't won in absolutely donkeys, to be fair to them, but they're still outside the relegation zone just about. They're very much a draw specialist like Albion. I watched them play early this season. They were okay. They were not the best team I ever saw, but they certainly weren't relegation fodder. Leeds on the other hand have been fantastic. But with Leeds, there's always a banana skin in their locker, especially with these big occasions. They're going to have a big booster allocation at Preston North End. Around 5,000 fans travelling to that game. And remember what happened the last time that happened against Blackburn, that they lost 1-0. And I can see that happening again here. I'm going to say Preston North End 2, Leeds United 0. Next up is Blackburn taking on Luton Town. Blackburn have very much gone under the radar really in their form. They've just been winning, and now, yeah, they're sat in the playoffs pretty comfortably. Yeah, really impressed with them, to be honest. I thought they were pretty boring when I watched them play, but they seem to prove me wrong, and they're doing really well. Todd Cantwell's coming into his element there, and they've got some top players that they're using well, I guess. Fair play to the manager, he's getting the best out of that team. Luton on the other hand, it seems going a bit toxic. I think it's got a bit better now. That league position starting to polish up a little bit better. They're around 14th, quite a bit away from that relegation zone, but we know what the championship's like. 3 games and you end up back in the dogfight. Saying that, I think that Luton will get something here. I'm going to say 1-1 draw. Next up is Middlesbrough taking on Millwall. Now Middlesbrough have been one of the most entertaining sides I've seen all season, to be honest. Saying that, they didn't play too well against Leeds, but saying that, it is Ellen Road and not a lot of teams get a result there, to be honest. They are Premier League quality, to be fair. If they were in the Prem right now, they'd at least be 16th, 17th, 15th, around that area. There's a few teams down that bottom which they are definitely better than. And yeah, look at the players got. I mean, Dan James, for example, former Man United player, and he's there sat in Leeds. Willie Nonto had massive clubs after him in the summer. He managed to keep hold of him, and he's just a nightmare. You can't tackle him. How he's built like me. Short, stocky, bulky. He's an annoying player, because if you try and, you know, bully him off the ball, you're going to give away a foul, because he knows what he's doing. Yeah, anyways, enough about Leeds. We're not even on about Leeds, we're talking about the Middlesbrough game. Millwall, the team they're taking on, they lost to Coventry on the weekend. Not too sure what happened midweek. Saying that, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the manager's last game, which is a bit crushing. You'd have thought that would boost the confidence, but the Riverside is a tough place to go, really. And yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 Middlesbrough. Up next, Oxford taking on Sheffield Wednesday. Pretty sure these are 2 from... No, they're not. Sheff Wednesday got promoted the season before. Yeah, Oxford have kind of nosedived a bit in form. Look a bit disappointed. The massive opportunity that they could have had in Plymouth was postponed. So, yeah, they've just been quite unlucky, to be honest. Sheffield Wednesday, on the other hand, they've picked up a little bit. They're one of them teams that they go on a 3-game losing streak and they go on a 3-game winning streak. They're very odd. That's why they're around mid-table. No threat of relegation for the Owls, and I think that they'll do well here at Oxford. Oxford are a wounded animal, so Oxford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Next up, Sheffield United versus Plymouth Argyle. Now, I don't really need to speak about this game too much because Plymouth Argyle are absolutely dog-awful on the road. Everyone knows it. They've had 1 point on the road all season. That was against QPR, in which they were down to 9 men, which is quite interesting, really. You know, might as well play 9 players every week if they're getting points with them. But yeah, really seems to really be losing it on the road, to be honest. The fans are getting fed up with it, and couldn't you blame them? I think their closest game all season is 2 hours away in Bristol, and then their closest derby game, their closest derby game usually is Exeter, which is still an hour, which is just crazy. Then fans are really loyal and they're just not getting the reward. Saying that, you're sure to see a bumper following from Plymouth Argyle, at least 1,000, 1,500, which is fantastic considering it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 hours to get there, which is nuts. Fair play to them, but I'm not going to give you any hope on this channel because I think you all know what's going to happen. Sheffield United 3, Plymouth Argyle 0. Next up is Stoke taking on Cardiff. Now, Stoke have been alright at home. They're an interesting team. They've got some decent players, but they're just, like I said, similar to Coventry, they can't get that consistency. Got a lot of good young talent as well. The only problem is with Stoke, most of them are on loan. Cardiff, on the other hand, they're right down in the parapets of the league, kind of fighting for their life. They've not been too good this season at all. And yeah, it's going to be hard for them. I'm going to say Stoke 2, Cardiff 1. Next up is Swansea taking on Sunderland. Now, Swansea are very weird. They seem to flirt with the playoffs, then die down for a bit, and then flirt with them again. Yeah, they're very, very interesting. I would say inconsistent. I'd say, yeah. I've said that enough, to be fair, though. Sunderland picked up a point in midweek against Bristol City, and they won at the weekend, which is massive for them, really, because the confidence looked pretty shot at, to be fair. They drew so many games, but what a difference a win makes. They're right back up, sniffing around the top 2, and I don't think they're going to get something out. I don't think they're going to get 3 points out of this. It's going to be hard for them at Swansea, because yeah, Swansea are a tough team, and I don't know, Sunderland they have a tendency to just bottle and drop off, like at Millwall when they conceded in the last minute, 90 something plus. Yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1. Up next is the final game of the weekend on the Sunday. You know, it's always West Brom at the minute because we are a Sunday league team, basically. Every game's on a Sunday. And near enough Sunday league times, it's 2 o'clock, which is a bit weird. But saying that, Watford, let's start on the hosts, Watford. They've been really, really good at home, to be fair. Haven't been able to win for Toffee on the road. They couldn't even beat Hull in midweek. They drew, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty disappointing, really. But they are a serious threat at home. I don't think they've lost there in about a year, which is nuts. They've got a lad called Vacuum Bio who's firing for them at the minute. They're pretty solid, to be fair, overall. Pardon me. And they've got a decent amount of young talent as well coming through the ranks, which is great, I guess, for the future and, you know, pushing up to the Premier League. These are the people you want. Albion, on the other hand, we were kind of getting fed up with watching us play, to be honest. We were just drawing every week. But don't get me wrong, the Sheffield United draw was a great point. We played really well. But, you know, on Wednesday, finally got a win. Played really well. A solid win as well, a 2-0 win, which is great to see. It wasn't a scrappy one, it's great for the confidence. I think Carlin Grant's been exceptional lately. That loan move to Cardiff has done him the world of good. Mowatt's playing well, Hegam's been quality. It seems like, hopefully, that draw spell is our speed bump in the season, and we can use that and now bounce off it, because at the end of the day, yes, we didn't win in a while. I think it was 1 win in 10 or 1 win in 11, but we weren't losing games, which isn't a bad thing. Being a hard team to beat is not awful, and yeah, I think it's going to do the confidence a world of good. This might seem like a little bit of a biased prediction, but usually I'm pessimistic on these videos, so I'm going to be positive for once. I think we're going to be the first team to win at Vicarage Road in about a year. I'm going to go Watford 1, West Bromwich Albion 2. Anyways, thank you for watching. That's a very late one. Appreciate all the support as always. We're going to keep this series running. I want to do it because it's just nice to do, isn't it? It's consistency. But yeah, thank you for watching. Up the Albion, come on you baggies.